Hi, welcome to Perfectly Wasted. This is episode 4 about mobile games. You can find all of my previous episodes on the Drinking Wisemen YouTube channel, as well as my bi weekly podcast, Brew the Truth, and any pictures that I have everyday life, cosplay, cosplay construction, things like that on my Instagram, DullOxide. So today we're going to be talking about mobile games and how I kind of think that they're taking over for traditional games in a way. I know I personally probably do about 50% or so of my gaming on mobile games these days. When I'm not playing mobile games, I'm playing a lot of Diablo 3 and a lot of Overwatch. When Bloodstained comes out, I'm going to be playing a lot of that. Everyone's waiting for Kingdom Hearts 3. It's never going to come out, but I'll probably be playing that a little bit when it comes out. So today we're going to talk about some of the most popular and successful games and some that just have large followings for other reasons. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with one that pretty much everyone knows, Game of War. It had a giant advertising scene for the longest time. People still pay tons and tons of money in it. I've played the game. I dropped some money in it. I don't play anymore, but it was very infectious, and they are one of the most successful game companies. It's run by a company called MZ, and they make tons and tons of money daily. So in the end, even though it's a pretty complex game, actually, if you've played it, there's lots of different little things that you can change in it, and they continuously build off of that. Uh, Even though it's a little bit of a complex game, because of its complexities, people enjoy it, and that's part of the reason that it's become so big. In fact, I believe MZ picked up the contract for the newest mobile version of Final Fantasy that's supposed to be coming out because of all of their success. So they really have grown a lot since their initial advertising, and they did obviously a really good job with their advertising because they got Athena there, who everyone knows, and Kate Upton is basically the entire reason that they have so much success with their advertising scene. But that being said, there are a lot of different types of games that people like, and I know Game of War is kind of an off thing that not everyone likes. Personally, something that a lot of people I know can get on board with, that I have gotten on board with as well, is Pokemon Go or PoGo. So currently they're coming out with a new event with which is another cool thing. They do a lot of events, but they're doing the Valentine's Day event where any pink Pokemons, a certain number of them, are going to be spawning more. Lures are 6 hours, which is really nice instead of 30 minutes. So they're trying to bring back a lot of people to it, and I think that their timing on these kind of events is pretty good. They do it around holidays that are considered national holidays, or holidays that are celebrated in more than one area. Valentine's Day being one of those that's celebrated, in the U.S. and Mexico and Canada, and I mean, as far as I know, it's pretty much everywhere. But so they're doing an event for this. They did a Christmas event. They did a New Year's event. They did a Halloween event. All of them have really brought people back to the game since they stopped playing. You're gonna probably see one of my co-hosts here in just a second, and that's Loki leaving the room. Some of the others might come in and out, so don't be afraid if you see something peeking through the door. But so Pokemon is a very fun game. It's pretty addicting. You do want to catch them all. It really brings you back to your youth. It supports walking and working out and things like that. I even bought a watch so that I can play when I'm at work and look somewhat professional still. So it's really a game that you can get into. It doesn't cost a lot of money. I did put some money into this game as well because you have to do things like expand your box and expand your item and Pokemon box, that is. And then sometimes you need to buy incubators and stuff to that effect to be able to get all of them. I've completed my North American Pokédex with the exception of, I think, one of the baby Pokemon, and through this event I'll probably hatch that baby Pokemon, so that's pretty cool. But they do a lot of events. It's a really fun game. If you haven't started playing it, it's just a reason to start playing it, to start walking a little bit more. If you're doing walking and jogging anyways, you might as well play it, because why not? And it's pretty fun. And so the nostalgia alone to bring you back is really, really cool. And just the amount of people that I've interacted with that are super cool through the community is really interesting. Recently, I had a friend who we thought something was stolen from them, a vehicle, and so we posted inside. I posted inside of all the Pokemon groups that I'm in on Facebook, and just the response was tremendous. Tons of people responding and just being kind in every kind of way that you can imagine. So the community is really cool. It's a really fun thing to be a part of. I'd suggest playing it if you haven't played it yet. Next is something that has been taking up a lot of my time recently that has just recently been released to the United States, and that is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So it is a very fun mobile game, and I spend a lot of time on it. Unfortunately, I don't spend as much time playing actual people as I'd like because I just don't feel comfortable at that. I'm not at that level yet. You have to build decks and things to that effect. It's just like traditional Yu-Gi-Oh! In that effect that you're gonna play against duelists, and the differences are that you have skills that you can activate through your decks that you build, and as you level up your duelist, who you have to choose an individual duelist and then build the deck for them. Any duelist can just use any cards, but you have to build it based on their skills. And then you also only have three magic and trap zones and three monster zones. So it's a little bit different. They're not all the cards. They have forbidden cards, just like inside of the actual card game, the physical game. And there are cards that are very hard to obtain. You can purchase inside of this game. I have not personally purchased because they give you a tremendous amount of gems to start with, so you get a pretty good start, and you really don't have to worry about it too much. So I've been able to get a deck that can beat all of the standard duelists, and I haven't had to put any money into it because there's daily quests and things like that you can do to gain stuff. So it's free to play. I mean, it is pay to win if you plan on being like the top ranked, because there is a ranking inside of it. But I think most people are just happy to be able to get that nostalgia bomb also, where you're sitting there and you see all these cards that you used to play with, and it's just pretty fun. It's a good way to blow a couple of minutes. They have an auto duel function, so if you build a pretty strong deck, then you can make it so that it automatically duels for you. You do have to click into the duelist, and then once you're inside of the actual game, then you have to hit auto duel, which is a little annoying. But I mean, come on, it's playing for you. And auto duel does make mistakes. If you have some kind of specialty deck that does something very specific, it will completely screw that up. So you have to basically build a standard beatdown deck and try and run through it with that. And it's usually about 75% successful if you're building a decent deck. So that's really fun. It's a really cool thing. I really enjoy the game. If you like Yu-Gi-Oh at all, I suggest giving it a try. It's really cool. Next, we're going to talk about something that's basically Twitter famous and things that I've heard about. I haven't actually played it, but I've seen it being played by many people, my girlfriend included. Mystic Messenger, which is very, very successful for the type of game it is, based on what I've seen. And I do like the idea of these types of dating sims and things to that effect. It brings me back to other dating sims that used to be played, Honey Pop for computer players. It's basic. It's pretty similar without quite as much erotic scenes and things like that. Obviously, it's more strictly speaking dating sim, but it seems like it's on the right track. I like to see this kind of thing because I like these types of games. It's like Steingate is another game that was really cool. That was it kind of had that select your path type scenario. Select your scenario type path is what I'm looking for. And dating sims also have that similar thing where you have to choose who you're going to court and try and progress through the love with them and things to that effect. And I think Mystic Messenger is really cool because it's the reverse of traditional ones, which is obviously in traditional or the more known dating games, they're usually a male character trying to get a female character, and in this it's a female character trying to get males, from what I understand. So that's pretty interesting, and I think that we're only going to see more types of games like these, and it's going to be pretty cool because it's a good way to spend a little bit of time. It gives you some interaction that you can do in between playing maybe other games, things to that effect. It doesn't require your entire devotion, so that's really cool. So basically, like I said, with all of these new mobile games that are out there that are pretty exciting and pretty fun, I think that a lot of people are kind of getting away from console gaming and spending more and more of their actual gaming time on their phones, which is really cool because they are powerful little devices. But at the same time, I feel like it doesn't get as much recognition maybe as the console games because it does have, it's such a big market for console. And the reality is that, everyone has phones. I mean, whether you're playing, Farmville or Pokemon Go or Game of War or any game really that you're playing mobily, Candy Crush, it's a lot of people are being brought into mobile gaming that weren't gaming before, and a lot of people that are gaming on console or PC are also mobile gaming. So it's just like a giant platform, and I think that the majority of gaming in the near future here is going to be done on these devices. So it's something to keep an eye out for. If you have any really, really cool, interesting games, any nostalgia bomb type games that you want to throw my way, please go ahead and comment them as a suggestion. And please like, subscribe, share, comment, anything that you want to see inside of a future show, go ahead and comment in there. That'd be great. Please check out my other channel. And thanks again for joining us. That was 10 minutes perfectly wasted.